Hi and welcome to the Malat Cookery channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how to extract essential oils from plant material with no need to build a homemade distillery. The equipment that is needed is less than the cost of a takeaway meal for two and with absolutely minimum effort. Okay, so firstly I want to give a bit of context. Whenever I'm watching a how-to video on YouTube, I'm always interested to see what the expertise is of the person in front of the camera. With regard to essential oils, I've been making essential oils for about 7 years now when I built my first homemade distillery. That distillery is still going strong. We use it for bulk plant materials like pine needles, where we extract the oil from there and make the most amazing disinfectant. I'll put a link to that video, so that build video is still on the Malat YouTube channel. I'll put a link to that video in the description below, so please go and watch that. Once you start making essential oils, I guarantee you'll get hooked, as my family are. They're very invested in it now, to such an extent that my twin boys are in the process of launching their own car and room fragrance business. So this is their first product. The company is called Sirocco Scents, and they've called this one After Dark. Absolutely sensational room fragrance or car fragrance. 2 sprays, last all week. So stick around to the end of the video, because not only will I show you how to extract essential oils using the cheapest product possible, but I'll also go into how to start, or how I feel you should start your own business, where you should start looking if that's what you're interested in doing. So the big reveal: what piece of equipment can you buy for less than the price of a takeaway meal for two that will successfully extract essential oils from plant material? A second-hand water distiller. So the person that I bought this from paid £260, I think, for this particular model. Used it for their newborn baby, so concerned about the water quality coming out of the tap that they felt they needed to take all of the impurities out before obviously giving it to the baby. So they purchased this new. The kicker for them, and for most other people it appears, is that if you've got the financial means to buy a piece of kit like this and you're willing to go through that much effort, you are definitely not going to want to buy a second-hand piece of kit. So there appears to be literally no market for this type of product on the second-hand market, other than to lunatics like me who want to take a chance on an idea that they've got to see if it works, or if you do homebrew and you want to start getting into making your own spirits. So I think this was up for £130, £140 on eBay. Didn't sell. Got down to such a price that it wasn't financially viable to sell it through eBay, so it came onto a free market ad, and I eventually paid £15 for this. It's in perfect working order. They are out there. What I would say though, if you're going to go down this route, don't buy one of the cheap white plastic ones. One of our friends had one. They were going to throw it out because, again, they tried to resell it and they couldn't. I tried it and they're absolutely useless. So go for something like this. You won't regret it. And again, if they're on a free ad for higher than what I paid, you just need to wait, or contact them and make an offer. That's exactly what I did, and as I say, and eventually bought it for £15. It works absolutely perfectly. In fact, it works better than the homemade distillery that I made, because I didn't realise until I bought this has got an automatic cut-off. So once the water has been boiled off, it automatically cuts off, which means that I can leave this running through the night when we're on cheaper electricity, come to it in the morning, and we've got essential oil, basically. Right, so how does it work? So it's basically a kettle with a protected element, and in the top we have a fan, and what happens is This boils the water, goes through the plant material, and I'll show you what I've adapted to allow that to happen. The steam goes through the plant material. This fan is spinning at a high rate and it applies cold air onto the steam, which then condenses and comes out of this spout. It's as simple as that. As I said, it's got an automatic cut-off, so all I have to do is put the water in the base, put the plant material in a sieve, sit that on top, put the lid on, plug it all in, press the button, walk away, come back in the morning, and the process is complete. It's that simple. With the homemade distillery that I've made, that works off a pressure cooker on the gas. It's got to be monitored all the time. So this is perfect. What I'm in the process of doing now is trying to find if they manufacture these in much sort of larger bits of kit so we can get more plant material. So what have I had to do to adapt this for our purpose of extracting essential oils? Basically all I've done, I can get this out. I've got two 18cm sieves. This is actually a 20cm sieve, which is what they normally come in the supermarkets. And rather than, I mean, sieves are £1 each, £1.50 each. So rather than go out and buy an 18cm sieve, I'm so tight-fisted that I've taken a 20cm sieve that we had anyway, and I've just cut it down to make it fit. So basically what happens, you take one sieve and cut the handle off. That goes upside down in there. The second sieve sits on the top with the plant material in, and the first sieve just prevents the plant material from coming into contact with the water itself. That's it. That's basically it. What I'm going to do now is I'll show you how to prep the plant material to go in here, and then we'll leave it running, and at the end of the video I'll show you what we've managed to extract from the plant material itself. So the first thing we need to do is to prep the plant material that we're working with, and especially something like rosemary, which I'm using here. It's quite a woody herb, so it does need a little bit of prep in order to get the maximum amount of oil from it. So all I'm going to do is just chop it slightly, really, not into small pieces, just to break some of the rosemary up. This simple process actually doubles, in my experience anyway, doubles the amount of oil that we get from it. Thyme is very similar. Pine needles, anything that's sort of like a woody, has a woody makeup really, you just need to break into it, I suppose. Right, so the next step is to fill our water distiller up to the appropriate level with water. So we've placed our sieve in upside down, and the water level, there is a minimum and maximum on these, but this level comes well within that range. So don't overfill, but all we want to do is to place water in here till it comes to just below this grate, and that way we get the maximum amount of steam going through the rosemary without the water actually touching the rosemary itself. So once the water's in, next thing to go in is our plant material. Set that down. I've got this jar which we're going to collect the water and the oil in. So as the steam condenses, comes back as water. I wouldn't normally use this particular jar, but for the video, if I use the container that I would normally use, you won't be able to see the oil, which will obviously sit on top of the water within the jar. So once our plant material's in, place our lid on, nice and firm, plug this in, and we plug our electric in. Make sure that the container, the thing you're going to be using to collect the water, is directly under the spout, and then press the button on the side. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see, but the fan starts spinning automatically, sending cold air into this chamber. This particular water distiller, which is called Water Pure, takes about 3 hours to do that much water. So I'm going to leave it now. We'll come back and I'll show you what the results are. So one point I forgot to mention, which is obvious really, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. The container that you're going to use to collect the water and oil in, make sure that the volume of that container is at least equal to the volume of water that you've placed into the water distiller, if not greater. So this is about 20% larger than the water content that's in there. If you don't do that and you leave it overnight, you'll come back the next day, it'll have overflowed and you'll have lost all of the oil. Right, so it's the next morning now. Everything works perfectly. When I came in this morning, the smell in the cabin is just unreal, so I've had to put the lid down on this. The first thing that kind of shocked me when I first did essential oil extraction was the amount of oil that you get from the plant material, or the lack of it. I think in here, I'm guessing there's probably 5 or 6 mil of oil, but there was only a small amount of plant material just so we could do the video. I would normally have that basket at least double the size of the plant material that was in there. The smell, I don't even have to go anywhere near the jar. As soon as I open the lid, the aroma is just unbelievable. So what we do with this now, we add this to a carrier oil, something like jojoba or something similar, an oil that has no scent whatsoever. So this will increase significantly in volume and still be extremely sort of aromatic. So that's what we've got. I would never normally put it into a jar like this, because my method of getting the oil away from the water is to actually put it in the freezer for an hour and a half, so that the oil solidifies and then we could just scrape it off the top. With this it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I will sort that out. So I mentioned at the start of the video about if you were looking to do this and maybe start a business, which is what my twins have done. My advice from the process that they've gone through is I would first look at room fragrances or car fragrances rather than anything that touches the skin. I think you need to learn your trade first, unless you're experienced in this of course, but I think you need to learn your trade first, because the amount of regulation, if you like, when it comes to products that are in contact with the skin is phenomenal. You've got registration, you've got all sorts of different files and documentation that you have to keep. It's a bit of a nightmare, a minefield, to tell you the truth. So what my twins are doing, they're starting off with room and car fragrances, and then they're obviously building from there. With regard to sourcing all the different products that actually go into make up a spray, like the alcohol, that type of thing, what I would look at is I would look at either suppliers to the scientific industry, or better still, which is what I think my twins have done, is chemical suppliers into the education market. Cheaper, significantly cheaper than buying from resellers on eBay or somewhere like that, and you're also getting pure products that have the correct documentation as well. So again, if you're going to build, even with something like room sprays, you've still got to keep technical files on that type of thing. So you need a supplier who has all of that information, or get as close to the manufacturer as you possibly can. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've tried to make it as short as possible, but without leaving out any detail. Please subscribe to the channel, it helps us significantly, and if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. I am going to put links to my twins' website and also their YouTube channel, so you can follow their journey if you want to. and I'll do that as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much for watching.